Alright. Think I'm live now. Let me double check here. Yeah, alright. So, hello everyone. I wanted to take a minute and revisit one of my all-time favorite games, Warframe. It's a free-to-play, looter-shooter type game. I've got a couple of close friends of mine who are just now getting into the game. So I wanted to, I guess, kind of make a series that goes over the basics. You know, what do you need to know in order to get good at Warframe? So, this is your navigation terminal and your star chart. When you first start the game, most of your missions are going to be centered on Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. You'll have to go through each of the challenges at the different junctions in order to unlock these planets and beat each boss and stuff, and, you know, go through and unlock all the different nodes. Each node has a different mission, but you're going to see the same couple of missions on each planet, right? Oh, here, give me a second, I'm getting a phone call. Okay, sorry about that. A little bit of an unexpected guest this morning. Give me a second. I gotta toss him an invite really fast. God, my friends list is long, and I don't know 98% of these people. Okay, so back to what I was talking about. So your navigation terminal is going to be here in the front of your orbiter. I went ahead and switched operations back to my orbiter for the express purpose of making this video a little bit easier. This is your news terminal, where you get information on different updates and events in the game. This terminal over here is for your syndicates, which you'll get into kind of later on in the game, and I'll probably make a video dedicated to discussing each of them. As you can see, I'm not doing too well in the bottom three here. And that's because I picked the Red Veil for my main syndicate, and all of the other syndicates, except for Steel Meridian, kind of hate them. So, there is that. This is for your Railjack, which, once again, this is a late game thing, so we'll have a video dedicated to this in the future. Alright, so, leaving your navigation terminal, heading a little bit back into the ship, this is your codex. This is kind of like a booklet of all of the stuff that is in Warframe. And it's what's up? What's up?
Distress signal.
Wait, Buster?
No.
Here, I can share. I think I can share screen too, so you could probably benefit from learning.
Honestly, I could just pull up the live stream.
That works. Whichever one is easier. So anyway, so this is your codex. Your codex has a lot of different information about the different factions in Warframe, how certain things work. You can go through and read all of the entries in it, or, you know, you could not do that, like 98% of the player base does. This section right here, the fragments section, is really interesting. As you move throughout each mission, sometimes you'll see these little glowing blue fragments, and you'll get the option to pull out a codex scanner from your gear wheel and scan them.
Wait, hold on. You have the option to pull a tampon out?
No, a codex scanner. Where did you get a
Get a
tampon from that?
Kotex. A Kotex. Like a tampon.
Oh my god. Well, anyway, there's like a hidden message in each of these. You hear that static? It's kind of hard to hear, but if you find the right spot, you can actually pull up a mission, or not a mission, an audio recording from a guy called Ordan Karis. Ordan Karis became Ordis. Ordan Karis was originally like this really famous Orokin assassin. This guy was known for enacting genocide as like a one-man army. But he betrayed the Orokin and he was sentenced to a life as a fragmented Cephalon that now serves the Tenno. And he remembers very little of his previous life, but sometimes when Ordis talks, you'll hear like this glitch, and then his voice drops, and he says something like really off-putting. That, I believe, is the developer's way of saying that Ordan Karis is still in there somewhere. Now this is your market terminal. This is where you can buy weapons, warframes, cosmetic items. It'll take you to the PSN shop or Steam or whatever where you can get platinum and such. It has pretty much every item in the game with very, very few exceptions. This is your Nightwave terminal. I believe you can access this no matter where you are in the game, and you can work to complete some of these challenges. Now, some of them are going to be difficult if you're not, like if you're a new player.
It's time for Nora to say good night.
Completing these challenges can get you a variety of different rewards, and I think it's worth it. I really do. Because you get cosmetic items, you can get, apparently, Stalker blueprints, which, you know, we'll have to do a full video on, like, who the Stalker is and why he's important, but anyway, moving on.
Sorry to interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
In the group meet, like my work group chat, I found a picture of my boss that looks like fucking Guy Fieri.
Okay, so this is your Foundry terminal. As you can see, I'm actually currently building a couple of things. I'm building a new Prime Warframe and a new helmet for my Excalibur. But each one, so this is your ready to build, this is just all the stuff that you have the resources for and can currently make. I don't need 98% of this, which is why I'm not building a lot of it. Oh, well, I mean, I could use another Lex Prime, right? This is your Warframe, so it's organized by type. So, oh man, I didn't know I had a blueprint for that. I already have one of those. Anyway, so you get blueprints for things, and then if it's a weapon, you have to go and hunt down the parts, which can be a bit of a pain in the ass depending on the type of weapon. So, like, this is the one of the Vandal weapons, so it's one of the, like, special weapons that you have to buy or farm the individual parts for. But then you get kind of the normal weapons like this, like the Ogress, that you really just need to go and farm out the resources for. And it's the same here, which this part right here, the Ocklex Prime link, is going to be a pain in the ass for me to get a hold of. Of course, here's your melee tab, Arcwing tab, which I need to get stuff for that. But it goes on and on and on. Now, right across from that is going to be your mod tab, or your mod station in your orbiter. Mods are pretty important. They're pretty crucial to how the game functions, because while your base Warframes and your Prime Warframes are going to be pretty powerful on their own right, you use these mods to make selective builds based on your playstyle that can maximize the efficiency of your frame and your damage output. As you can see, just selecting one of these mod cards, there's a number over here on the top left, 17. That means I have 17 of the Disruptor 15% impact shotgun mod. And then you see over on the right side, it's 4 with a little symbol next to it. I forget what exactly that symbol is, but that 4 means it takes 4 points to install it on your Warframe. Now, when you fuse a mod, when you infuse into a mod, it increases how much it costs to put on your Warframe, but it also increases the stats on the mod.
Bro, I'm crying. Please look at that photo I sent you. That's like the third time I've looked at it and wheezed. Dude, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
That guy looks like such a nerd. I'm saving that, and I'm just gonna send it to you at 4 a.m. on like a random Tuesday. You're gonna wake up half asleep and be like, what the hell is this?
Dude, I sent it as his profile picture. It's so good.
Alright,
It looks
so
nothing like that now. Literally. Like nothing like that.
these are your two different companion slots. These are for your sentinels over here, which I don't think you can actually access from this slot anymore. You have to access it through your arsenal because they're like robots and they're considered kind of just a part of your equipment. And then your actual like incubator for breeding pets, which I don't really do much anymore. I have pretty much all the pets that I want. So, which of course that'll get its own video. This is just kind of an overview showing you where everything is. This is your relic station. As you pick up relics throughout the world, you can do void relic missions to open them and get access to prime blueprints and parts. Kind of like mods, you can fuse into them. In this case, it's called refining, but you can refine the relic up to max and get a chance of getting the, the gold piece over here, the gold part. So these are your bronze parts. These are the ones that are going to be the easiest to unlock. These are the second hardest. And then these ones are the ones that you're going to sit there and farm for 8 hours for, and your best friend's going to get it while you fucking watch. Sorry, I have some trauma there. This is like the Conclave terminal. It's Warframe's kind of built-in, I guess PvP almost. I have never touched this.
And then I'm like halfway through this bang, and suddenly it's about to happen again.
It's not suddenly, that's what happens. It's what energy drinks do to you, man. That should be their whole slogan. So now we get over...
This to your asshole. Bang!
Now we get over to your arsenal. So, as you can see, whenever you hover over a Warframe or a weapon, it gives you the option to swap it out with a different one, upgrade it, or change your appearance. There's a lot that goes into Warframe appearances, as you can tell. This is a void shell skin, so not all Warframe skins are going to be this meticulous. Most of them you can just change the colors around and do whatever the hell you want. But with the void shell skins, you actually get to pick, like, the material that certain parts of the skin are made out of, and that also changes its appearance, which I am a big fan of, but some people don't care. So,
bro, Bang better sponsor us right now. I'll put this whole cane in my asshole.
I think that would give them all the reasons not to sponsor us. So, now we're at your Warframe mods. We'll get into arcanes later because they're kind of tricky, and even if you have them, they're kind of a bitch to make useful because of how much farming has to go into them. Because in order for an arcane to be truly useful, you're going to want that shit maxed out. There's just no point in putting an arcane on your Warframe that isn't maxed out. I do it just so that I remember which ones I want to max out for what builds. I'm not running a super complicated build on my Styanax right now because I just don't really care to, I guess. This isn't my main Warframe. I don't even think I've formed this guy. Now, if we take a look at my Necros, I've put 6 Forma and 5 Archon shards into this guy, and that doesn't mean a lot to y'all right now, but I'm going to explain that here in a second. So, going back to our mod terminal, each one of these mods does a different thing. You have your kind of physique mod up at the top. I think it's called an aura mod. Yeah, that's your aura mod. Each aura mod does kind of a different thing. There's a lot of different kinds of aura mods. In game, growing power is definitely one of my favorites because, I mean, who doesn't want more ability strength? But Dreamer's Bond is a new one that they kind of just released, that gives you health and energy and health regen, which is also very good. Now you get over to your Exilius mods. So these top 2 mod slots are going to be separate from all of the other mods down here. They're going to be vastly different. Now once again, I have Power Drift up here for that extra ability strength boost.
Wait, so does your chat not show up on your screen?
It does. I'm just ignoring your fuckery. Because I'm in the middle of explaining something.
You're good. I'm just trying to figure out because I'm typing bullshit and I don't see it on the screen. I'm like, what's going on?
It should show up. Is it not showing? Or like you watching the stream and it's just not showing up?
Yeah. Hold on, watch.
That's odd.
Mew. I'm gonna type in Mew. Maybe it just takes a delay and I'm missing it. Hold on.
It probably is a delay. Because that's the issue I had with yours, is it was a huge delay.
Alright, how long is the Mew delay? Because I still haven't seen it. Did you see it yet?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it almost immediately.
Yeah, I don't think the delay's that crazy. I think it's just not showing up.
Huh.
Weird.
Odd. But anyway, so you can change the mods on your weapons as well. They work similarly in the sense that they also have arcanes. Weapon arcanes are something that was introduced rather recently. Once again, difficult to farm for, but once you get one that's like maxed out, they are incredibly fucking useful.
The system continues to fall
and then they
into
have their
chaos.
own
Check
Exilius
navigation
mods.
for active invasions.
So this one is Arrow Mutation, converts secondary ammo to 50% of ammo pickup, which if you're using any kind of bow is kind of vital, because for whatever reason they just don't give you a lot of ammo for bows. I don't know why. I think it's because when the Kuva Brahma was introduced, it kind of broke the fucking game. But it's the same with your secondary and your melee. Melees actually get what's called a stance mod, which is kind of the move set. Yeah, that's fair. Tomfoolery is always good. But stance mods are basically the move set that you want to apply to your weapon. So I have Cleaving Whirlwind on my greatsword here. Let me try and find one that I have multiple stance mods for. I think I have multiple stance mods for this one. Sorry, I'm very meticulous about color schemes. Not for any real reason, but okay, yeah, see? So I have multiple stance mods for this one, which you can't see because my Warframe is hovering over it like an idiot, but yeah, see? So that would be a completely different moveset compared to Burning Wasp. And that's not to say any one stance mod is better than another, they all just function differently. I happen to like Cleaving Whirlwind for the greatswords because when you spam X while moving, it gives you this kind of spin-to-win attack, and you're just rotating in a circle, swinging your sword around like a madman. Now, once again, your companions can be upgraded just like everything else in the game. They have slightly different upgrades. Like, they have slightly different functions, I guess, which, honestly, I could probably format this guy and make him a little bit better, because... Anyway. A fun feature that my buddy and I just found out they added for your biological pets, I guess, they actually just started giving them weapons that you can upgrade, which that wasn't a feature until I think one of the more recent updates. So that's a really fun thing. That's something people have been asking for a long time, because it is really annoying to have your pet die mid-mission, because it's just squishy as all hell, which most of the pets are. Now we get over to your gear wheel. these are all of the little tools and tips and things that you want to bring in mission, which you can infinitely add to this. As you can tell, mine is very, very disorganized. I kind of just, every time I pick up a new tool and it's something that I use on a quasi-decent basis, I go ahead and add it to my gear wheel. Which, your air support charges are probably going to be one of the biggest ones you use if you do long-running missions like I do. Now we get into something that's kind of early game, but it's going to be a little bit difficult to obtain, which is going to be your arc wing. Arc wings are really awesome tools. But they are just that. They are a tool. Once again, like everything else in the game, they can be upgraded, which... Ooh. I don't like that. Am I gonna have to forma my freaking Arcwing? I guess so, because... I have some new Arcwing mods. I don't do a lot of Arcwing missions just because I find them tiresome. But of course, with arc wings, you get an arc gun, which mine is actually a Kuva weapon. And once again, you know, you can mod it out and upgrade it as you want. And you can change its appearance. And then you get the arc melees, which are essentially just giant versions of normal melees. So Veritox is one of the first ones you're going to get. It's basically just a giant single-edged sword. You get a scythe. I think this is a hammer, brass knuckles for everyone who likes to punch their way out of arguments, a battle axe, and then a
Do y'all have a Sigma
sword and
axe?
shield? Absolutely not. They removed that in the previous update.
Alright, I put up a YouTube short for you, so hopefully some people will come to the stream from that.
I appreciate it, buddy.
Not a problem. I'm gonna go do some shit around the house real fast, though. I'll be back. Oh, snap,
That's
you got
fine.
another like on your stream.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't know who liked, but I appreciate it.
Nobody else is watching, clearly, though.
Yeah.
It's
I have a
only showing
couple.
2 views, which is weird. I don't know why it does that.
This system can be a bit glitchy, I've noticed.
A little bit. Alright, I'm gonna watch your stream, and I'm gonna go do some bullshit around the house. I'll be back. I'll still be chatting, though.
Alright, I'll see you then. So now we get to... This is a late game thing, but it is a very fun late game thing. This is your Necromech. This is something that you'll be able to access after you get a hold of your operator later on in the game. I'm not going to delve too deeply into it because then we start getting into quests. And I don't know if I really want to broach quests right now. Because, yeah, quests are kind of a difficult thing to talk about without actually playing the quest. Some quests can take as little as 30 minutes, and then you get quests like the New War that can take upwards of 4 hours, depending on, you know, how familiar you are with the game and its mechanics. So, which the New War is probably the only quest in the game that should take you 4 hours. Like, they even tell you when you start the quest, they're like, look, estimated runtime for this quest is around 4 hours. I can tell you from personal experience, I played through the quest twice. Both times I played through it, bare minimum 3.5 hours is what it took me. So, like, they're pretty on the nose with that. Now, with your Necromech, there's a couple of different kinds. You have Bone Widow, which is kind of a melee-based Necromech, and then your normal Void Rig. But these are pretty much exactly what they sound like. They're big mech suits, and they use arc guns instead of like normal Warframe weapons. This is his ability. I think the Bone Widow has a giant sword instead. I didn't care for her moveset very much, so I don't use her. This is your K-Drive. Congratulations for all of the skateboard people, all of our skater people who have joined Warframe, because now they have something that's exclusively for you guys. It even comes with, you know, different, like, stickers you can put on the bottom, which I only have 2. But, I mean, I don't really like any of the other ones. So I didn't see a need to get them. I thought this one was kind of cool for a while, but I feel like you can't see it very well when it's on the bottom of the actual K drive. So I go for this one because, I mean, I don't really care to look at it. I don't see it very much unless I'm doing a trick with it. But yeah, so that's kind of a brief overview of your arsenal, how it works, where your mods are at, how to upgrade your Warframe. I know I'm probably not explaining this very well, but I do plan on doing more in-depth videos about like certain basic, like bare bones builds that you can do and how to run the game. This is a door that will open for you whenever you have assist on your Warframe, and then it'll open up for you permanently later on once you get access to the helmet system. And then over here you've got like your little private office type dealio, which if you're in the orbiter it shows space outside the window. If you're doing something else it shows kind of like an underwater scenery. If you're showing the, I think it's the Drifters camp. We're not going to go into that room yet, because that room has to do with a quest, and has to do with some other things. But pretty much if you've just beaten Vor, you're going to want to know, okay, well, where do I go from here? I have some other quests I can do. Yes, go ahead and tackle your other quests, but while you're doing that, make sure to pay attention to the junctions. So I think we go to Earth, here's the Venus junction. It gives you like a little challenge. You know, complete the quest Vor's Prize, complete the quest Saya's Vigil, use Fusion to rank up any mod. And then once you beat the boss of the junction, you get all of those rewards. What the hell? You get all of the rewards down at the bottom. Which I'll go ahead and just fight the junction boss really quick to kind of give you... Obviously I'm going to kill it a bit quicker than maybe a new player would, but... Why am I holding the arrow like that?
How dare you enter my home? I burn the realm with my shadow light.
Oh, it's a vault. Oh, he blocked it. That's fine. Oh my god, I hit him once. I hit him one time. And he dropped like a sack of rock. Oh no. Well, anyway, so you beat your boss, and then you leave, and you get your rewards. Sorry, I'm really sleepy. Gross. My bad. Oh, is something done in my foundry? Oh, it's probably that helmet. Yep. Which I guess I can go ahead and pull out my Excalibur now. So this isn't normal Excalibur, this is Excalibur Umbra, which you're gonna get from a quest later in the game called Sacrifice. It is probably one of my favorite quests in the game. Not to say it's the best quest. I think there are some quests that were definitely better than that one. This is just the one that I like a lot because I feel like it really drives home the story of Warframe. Because Warframe's story is complicated, alright? It's kind of weird. It takes a lot to get through it. I mean, so look, you have all your main quests here. And, I mean, each one of these can take a various amount of time to get through. Which, honestly, I guess you can get access to a Necromech pretty early in the game at least by the way the quests are run. Let me see what the prerequisites are, if it tells you. It does not. But I mean, each one, whenever you go to start a new quest, it will list the prerequisites required in order to start the quest. Which most of these quests have a Warframe tied to them,
he knows nothing.
or an area tied to them. So like the Vox Solaris quest, that has the free roam on, what? I'm wondering if I restarted this quest and forgot about it. Because this is looking like I didn't finish it. Anyway, so this is tied to the free roam that they added on Venus. And then Heart of Deimos is the free roam that they added to Mars. I forget what Once Awake does. In fact, I remember nothing about that quest. Of course, this is the one where you get your Archwing. The story really starts to kick off around here. That's when your story starts to get pretty heavy. Oh, this is where you get your Railjack, by the way. God, my throat. The War Within. That was a... They've changed the way this, what's the word I'm looking for? The thumbnail for this quest looks. I hate this quest. I love this quest and I hate it at the same time. Alright, it's horrifying. This was Digital Extreme's best attempt at turning Warframe into a horror game, and it kind of fucking worked, okay? You're playing through the mission and you just hear tap, tap, and then some little demon baby runs at you from out of the fucking wall, alright? It's horrifying. And it was not necessary at all. I think this one's just a cutscene. Yeah, this is just a series of cutscenes that came out a while before the new War Quest. And then the new War Quest dropped. I played it. Like, I played it the night that it dropped, and I stayed up until probably 3 o'clock in the morning. It was later than that, actually, because I remember seeing the sun coming up, like the sun coming through the window, as I was playing through this quest, and then I passed out before I actually finished it, because I had worked that day. So as soon as I got off work, I found out the quest had dropped, and I jumped immediately on Warframe. This is one of the quests that they had that I did not care for. Story-wise, it's really good, but playability was not fucking great for me. I don't know. I think that they could have done a little bit better with this one, but it did open the door for things like the Duviri Paradox and such, which this was another quest I did not care for. And this is well after the Duviri Paradox. The Duviri Paradox is actually one of the best quests that they did in the game, I feel. Because it opens up a whole new free roam area, but also a lot of really interesting content. And I think even new players can access this area. There are a few issues I have with the Duviri Paradox and the way that it's done, but it is what it is. These are all of your side quests and stuff, your Warframe quests, which I haven't completed this one because I suck at doing the tricks for it. Wait, no, I don't actually want to do it right now. Oh gosh. Codex, okay. Whew! I kept clicking on the wrong thing. I was like, wait, no, why? This is the quest you get Sevagoth from. I wasn't a huge fan of the actual quest, But the fucking soundtrack was awesome. The soundtrack, and then there were like a couple of missions in the quest that were really fun because they gave you this really like space pirate vibe that I just fucking loved. The New Strange. I don't remember this one. Oh, this is where you get Chroma. Yes. Okay. Mask of the Revenant was a good one. That's where you actually start unlocking Revenant as a Warframe. This is where you get Limbo. Like, each one of these quests is tied directly to a Warframe. This is where you get Protea, the Time Warframe, and she is freaking crazy. You can get some really good builds with her and basically make a Warframe that's unkillable if you know what you're doing. I think that just about covers everything I wanted to talk about in like this little intro video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or, you know, maybe you're just a hater and you want to tell me to fuck off, that's fine too. But drop a comment and let me know, because the feedback does give me an idea of how I can improve and how I can do this better. Because I do eventually want to get into kind of this long form content where I can talk about these things and, my Necros Prime is not, in fact, perfected. As much time, effort, and energy as I have put into it. So, I guess I can go ahead and talk about this too. Whenever you forma a Warframe, you change the polarity of one of its mod slots. So as you can see, I have 3 different mod configurations here. This is the one that I have pumped 6 forma into this guy in order to get. Now, you see all these red stats, and for all intents and purposes, you see it and you're like, oh, red means bad. Believe it or not, in this case, red means good. This guy, I can go into a mission as long as I have a couple of people to help out with DPS. I can go into a mission with level like 200, 300, 400 enemies, and I'll be fine. I haven't taken it all the way up to 999 yet, just because I guess I don't care that much, but like that's when you start getting into Steel Path, and that you can only start doing Steel Path after you have unlocked the entire rest of your star chart, which I think I think you're only limited to like the actual planets. Like the planets that were originally, so like you don't need to unlock, well, you'll need to unlock all of the Void because that's been there since the beginning of the game, but like you won't need to unlock all of the nodes on the Zeraman, or I think even Deimos. Don't worry about the Kuva Fortress because that's a late game thing. But this is Steel Path. Sure, it looks like nothing has changed, but when you hover over it, a lot of my nodes are locked. But you can see starting level for these enemies is level 100, which is why I haven't gotten very far. I would prefer to do this with like a full squad. But I've got a couple of them unlocked on different planets. I typically go for things like survival missions. So like I'll do a survival, a Steel Path survival. And I'll stay in that mission for like an hour or so. Like I'll stay in the mission until I can no longer effectively kill shit when it comes to those longer farming runs. And then typically by the time I'm at that point, I've got enough resources that I can go ahead and leave, and I've gotten everything I needed to get from the mission. And yeah, I know I need to put a little bit more effort into my videos. I plan on going through, just the other day I went through and managed to get rid of most of the licensed audio for my Fortnite stuff, which was awesome. That should have fixed some of the copyright problems I was having. Not that I guess I'm really expecting to make money off this, but it is just annoying when you create content and then the game tells you, oh, well, or not the game, but YouTube tells you, oh, well, people can't see this because, you know, 0.3 seconds of a song by Snoop Dogg was in it. You know, You get like 0.3 seconds of a song that you didn't even play. Well, actually, you can do it from the YouTube Studio app. You just kind of scroll through it and tap 2 buttons and they mute the licensed audio. I don't know how much that's going to do for the overall quality of the video. According to what YouTube says, is they try to just mute the copyrighted music and nothing else, but I haven't actually had a chance to go back and watch those videos to see how well that process turns out. By the way, for anyone wondering, this is essentially like your personal office or whatever in your orbiter, which is why mine is decorated. I've got a bunch of random stuff in there. And these are all decorations you can get in-game, either through completing quest lines or just buying them. If you catch a fish and keep it, you get the option to put it in the fish tanks in here, which is what I did, because I like the fish. I had some robot fish at one point, but I have some infested fish and stuff too. Oh, there's one of the robot ones right there. There's 2 of them, actually. I think that's one of the infested ones in the back there. Yeah, that's one of the infested fish. You get those guys from Deimos. Man, he's huge. It doesn't really look like a fish. Like, most of the fish in this game don't really look like fish. Like, that doesn't look like a fish. That looks like an alien space monster. That looks like it needs to be flushed down the toilet and forgotten about, but... Anyway, JDs and gentlemen, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you for, well, it's a good... well, I don't know. It's weird to be close to your boss, because, you know, it'll open up the door for favoritism, but that makes your coworkers hate you. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you all for joining. Like I said, just leave some comments down below, so I have a better understanding of, like, how I can improve these kinds of videos, and maybe answer some of the questions that y'all might have moving forward. I will see y'all later.